There are three things in this world that are absolutely beautiful: food, sex, and your smile, baby. Today we're talking about clubbing, and forgive me if I speak and forgive me if I speak a little bit weird. I'm just on the phone to my homie. He's watching me record, and I'm a little bit embarrassed because it's the first time. Anyway, I have a very, very strange and crazy story that you won't believe. So I work as a security in pubs, clubs, whatever, and I saw something very alarming. There was a mother going out on a Saturday or a Friday evening, I can't remember the day, and she was with her daughter and her daughter's friend. Now, as security, my operations are to make sure everything goes well and to supervise the area. And there's some things that I see that not everybody sees. And I saw a group of kids, white young kids, doing cocaine. That's very common in the UK and it happens all the time. I saw this mother enticing her daughter to leave with a guy that I saw doing cocaine in the toilet. Now these two were complete strangers, and the daughter was saying, "Mom, I don't want to live without you." But maybe it was because she was trying to be a cool mom, maybe it was because she thought it was a good idea, I'm not too sure. But she was telling her daughter, go, don't worry about me, go have fun. And she was letting her, and matter of fact encouraging her, to hop in this taxi with her friend, with these two guys, strangers that they just met. Now, of course, you hear this now and you think, oh, whatever, what a weird thing, or what a terrible mom, and we criticize very heavily. But you'd be surprised, depending on your lifestyle, how much you see of this behavior when you go outside. And that's why today I wanted to talk about clubbing in general, and the kind of things that await you and why it sucks in a way that you've probably not really questioned before, apart from the obvious, it's degenerate, whatever. Here we go. Number 1. I actually went clubbing recently. I went out with my friends, I went dancing. I don't really drink. I don't drink. And I went out and I danced like there was no tomorrow. I danced like Michael Jackson to control of my feet. Very vehement, very passionate, because it's what I am. And so I was having a great time, 4 hours, 5 hours dancing. Long time. My legs were killing by the end of it, but I had a blast. Now the thing about this, we recognized a few people when we went, and it turns out that whenever I decide to go out, which is once every few months usually, but it had been close to a year since I last went out before this time, so give or take. But I always meet somebody that I know. Is it a coincidence? No. A lot of people that are in the habit of going out clubbing tend to go out clubbing, and they do it quite often. Now, there's a big problem with this, and that's that people use it as a social replacement of the things that you could be doing to socialize. People say, oh yeah, let's go out, let's meet new people, let's socialize a little bit. But it is wrong to depend solely on the clubbing aspect in order to do this with your life. If you have no sort of like social clubs, mixed martial arts, badminton, some sport, a social reading club or language exchange, whatever it is, religion, anything. If you don't have any sort of social category that you can belong to and you go out clubbing, then this will become your dependency. But it is a terrible dependency. I'll add more into why this dependency is terrible as we speak about the number 2 thing. I've got 3 bullet points that I made. But I want to reinforce what you should do instead. Do not let the club be your dependency in order to have this social interactions, social involvement, or actualization in the community or society that you're part of. Instead, say, hey, I want to dance. So tonight, I'm gonna dance like there's no tomorrow, and then leave that moment. Do it strong, do it fiercely. Do it until you really left everything on the dance floor. Make yourself feel like, okay, I've done enough, and then don't go clubbing again for a long time. It's not a good environment. It's not a place that you should replace these social things that are good for us, that we need. Instead of like going to some sort of social activity, you should instead look to join the gym and maybe go with a friend. Look to join some society, like just university societies, right? If you're in university, or for example to join some sort of social group online. There's many things. Or you go to Google Maps and you search Jiu-Jitsu club, or you search this or that, right? I recommend mixed martial arts. It's a great way to keep healthy, to be involved with a group, and I like mixed martial arts, I'm biased. But now to make it a little bit more serious and more important, as we segue into number 2, let's expand as to why this is a terrible dependency. The club is a space where people are typically with lower inhibitions due to the force of alcohol and other drugs. Now, you become your surroundings, but above all, you become your mind. if you are in this type of environment, your mind will go to more degenerate places. I'll be completely transparent. I went there with the only intention of having fun, dancing, and just releasing a bunch of stress that I was building up on my shoulders. However, I go there and there are going to be girls drinking or whatever and wearing very small, short outfits. Even though it's very cold outside, I'm literally indoors with a beanie and a hoodie. And so my eyes would of course, or have of course, drifted into places that they wouldn't normally go, right? I looked at a lot of ass. I looked at a lot of titty. Anyway, you get the point. And this was feeding into my persona, right? Into my mind. A desire that wasn't quite clean, right? It is not bad to have the desire for sex and such. But the desire to be like lusting, salivating after you see like some fresh meat, and I will use this foul language because it is a foul environment, then it is not reinforcing anything good for yourself. And as I said before, it's a degenerate environment and it is replacing what should be the social touch, the social act, which is way more beautiful than that. A story of something that happened to me, for example, when I went dancing the other night. I was wearing a little hat as well as some just very shiny, whatever, colorful clothes, just to be a comfortable dance and whatever, and to look kind of good, you know, because you don't want to go in a suit to the club. And I was approached, well, you know, you approach people and you dance together and whatever, but this one girl in particular approached me, and she asked me if I was a cat dealer, right, if I was supplying drugs, whatever, because, quoting her, I looked the part. Cool. Thank you, I guess, or no, fuck you rather. But we were talking, whatever, and she was getting really close to me. Like she'd be like, "Hey, are you?" I'm sorry about that. She would go all of that to my ear, to my face, asking me for if I was doing that, and making small comment like, "Oh, I like your hair, this and that." And of course, I was kind of thinking to myself, should I be fucking, you know, stealing a kiss, or what's going on? Why is she on my face, pretty much? Because I had to turn my face, otherwise it would be lip on lip with how close she was. And so, you know, I was dancing, whatever, she would come close to me, she would put her hands on my hip. I'm not gonna lie, I did the same. But then I started, you know, smelling, and I was like, she's drunk and she's like this. I don't know what she's suspecting. I don't know if she's even having any clear thoughts, because I'm not drinking and she is. So I just immediately put my hand away anyway, and I was a little bit more tame, right? Maybe I would have liked to do something, but guess what? If you're watching this, you're probably somebody with morals, and I have morals, and I don't wish to cast them aside, especially now that harder times are coming. More and more so, I need to hold on to my vigor and my determination, my courage. I can't just cast away these things that I build up just for instantaneous pleasure. And so I realized I am not in the right environment if this is what I wish to do. Like in that moment, I wished to flirt, or I wished to give her a kiss, or whatever. If I wish to do this, I am not lacking in confidence or anything, so much so that I can't go out in public and find a girl that I think is very beautiful and go up to her and tell her. Contrarily, it is because I would just say how it is, and because I would be calm about it and not have any strange thoughts about, right, that I am able of doing such a thing, which I know that many guys struggle, some of my friends struggle. But with purity in your heart and beauty in your heart, become beautiful and pure yourself in your actions. But in the club and similar places, you are in a TikTok environment. There's flashing lights everywhere. There's one person there. So if you're bored, you can just scroll by and turn your head and go somewhere else. And it's all very sexual, it's all very degenerate. It's fun if that's what you're into, but I know that it is not what I am into, and I don't believe that that's what you really are into. So if you wish to pick up some girls, whatever, I'm not here to debate whether it's bad or good, but I will debate and I will stand against intoxicated kind of interbreeding, or that's a really weird phrase or way of putting it, but intoxicated relationships or start of stories, right? I think it would be a much more beautiful beginning of a tale to meet somebody at a normal environment and say, hey, I'd be kicking myself in the butt if I didn't say anything. I think you're stunning. than to be dancing, everybody listening to some, you know, and just being drunk. You see someone, they see you, you smile and you kiss, they go to your house, you fuck. Like, that's not really it. It's not really what you're looking for. Which is a great segue into number 3. This one is very simple. You don't need it. There's 2 types of people that you don't need it applies to in different ways. 1, you don't need to go clubbing because it was the time, whatever. 2, which is the one that probably applies to you, you don't need to do this if you think it's what you should implement or add into your life or do more of. If you feel like there's a lack of people or socializing in your life or whatever, you don't need this. The opposite of what you should do. Clubbing is the opposite. If you want to have more friends in your life, more attraction, whatever, more movement, right, more socializing, clubbing is the last thing. And it actually takes the magic away from the natural setting in the art of socializing. So I know many people that feel lonely, especially in today's growingly digital age where sure there's online communities and of the like, but nothing will ever beat what is real until it becomes as good as real. But so far nothing is. The movies aren't good as real, the animes aren't good as real, the food, the porn, nothing is as good as the thing that it is replicating, right? The real connection that there is when you and I touch lips. Okay, now I gotta wait for the steam to go. Damn, that shit worked, what the fuck? I wish to speak a bit more about the magic of socializing. In clubbing, a lot of people will build the correlation, right? We are like Pavlov's dogs. We have like the stimuli, whatever, and we make connections, and it's always just, oh, this means that, right? Correlation is a big thing for us humans, and we might tend to correlate the fact that clubbing is a great thing for socializing. And it isn't. It isn't in the slightest. It's just such a huge dopamine spike that you kind of just get overwhelmed and you can't even think straight. However, if you're looking for more socializing, I've got something way better for you than clubbing. Here it is. I've already said it before throughout the video, but now reiterated, call to action for you to do it right now. If you feel there's any kind of void in the social department right now, make some space in your routine because it's an essential part of your life. To be social, whatever, to be connected to other humans, it is essential. We cannot go or traverse our journey alone. For even if we do reach our goals, what is it for if we have nobody to celebrate it with? So make some, maybe like 1 day a week or 2 days a week, right? If that's the most that you can do, where you have a few hours where you are in some sort of group setting with others. A lot of people rely and depend on childhood friends from school as we grow older and stuff. And so there's not really a good or a big need to do anything specific. But in today's age where we drifted more and more apart as we grew out of school and we don't really have that kind of connection anymore because we're all just kind of glued and we have all of our attention stolen from us. What I would suggest for you to do is join straight up a group activity, even if it's literally gaming, right? Play games with people in person. There's rental places that you can go to. Oh, but it costs money, whatever. Clubbing costs money. Going in costs money. If you drink, because most of people that go clubbing will drink. I'm kind of the anomaly. It will cost you a lot more money. Spending some time to go there with these people, with your friends, right? Your new friends, making memories, particularly in that. This is a good investment. It's an investment in yourself and in your spirit. These are things that will feed your soul in the things that it needs, that it really needs, not clubbing. You're just feeding it poison at that point. Be it you're an instrumental guy and you want to join some gigs, or maybe, I don't know, make some social media, right, and see who in your areas like posting all the social media stuff and get in touch. Hey, do you wanna meet up and jam, right? Or be it you go to the gym and you become friends with somebody. Hey, do you wanna like start going to the gym together? You're a pretty big guy, huh? Whatever, like I see you play or whatever, you big, this and that. Let's go together, you know, you can teach me something and I help you in legs because you got them chicken legs. Whatever, right? Make friends, be communicative with others, be part of the communion and satisfy in the natural setting of socializing. Clubbing sucks. You don't want to do it. I don't want you to do it. You got so much more in you than to go waste your time and life force away in these places. You can do like me, or you can do less than me, going once every like month or couple of months just to go out dancing, bam bam bam. And guess what? Sometimes I go in there, yeah, I pay like £5 to £10 to go in. I'm just not feeling it after 5 minutes because I thought I did, but then I didn't. I just go home. Doesn't matter. It's more worthwhile to fall back earlier than to persist in something that you don't like. Please, you got things that you want to do, go ahead and do them, and don't spend too much time on YouTube. Strive to be 1% better every day, and much love.